Okay, all right, what's poppin', y'all? Uh, Today's topic: benevolent or beta. Um, my 2 cents on this whole situation that's happening. Right, a lot of people alpha beta thing, and they're using this whole situation with Steph and his wife, and some people are coming at Steph for being beta. And I think one of the problems with that is very simple. Um, some people are just benevolent and we're taking people's kindness for weakness. And when you take people's kindness for weakness, you think that they're beta when they're being benevolent. And why I'm saying that is because people who are benevolent are very alpha, but a lot of people, what's up, Naima? People who are benevolent are very alpha, but we don't take into consideration what benevolence really is in society. What's up, Ice Dream? We call people beta because they soft because they're not malevolent, which is what ill intended, who have evil intentions. We expect people with evil intentions to be alpha, and the reason I'm talking about that is because you better stop that name. Uh, the reason I'm talking about that is because we have this perverted sense of what power is. Now, women and men want to get power, and women are attracted to power. But we forget that you can have somebody who's benevolent in power, and you could have somebody that's malevolent in power. And anybody who read the 48 Laws of Powers knows this. Never outshine the master. If you read the story in the 48 Laws of Power, the master was pretty much a benevolent dude. He was just doing his thing, handling his business, great reputation. But his pupil under him felt like I could do this. I got this. This is easy. So it's easy. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it then. And that pupil got crushed under the pressure of power. And this was some of us don't realize about power, because some of us don't really know what power is. Power comes from inside, not outside. And I'm gonna use a bunch of different references to say what I'm saying. You know, God damn you. Yeah, I'm home. I'm home. Shit, we could do it tonight, fam. Uh, but a lot of people don't realize what power is in this sense. The God and devil story is about benevolence and beta. That's what that's about to a degree. Think about it. You know, God in heaven is looked at as benevolent. The devil looks at him as beta because he's soft. Oh man, you letting these people do all this stuff, man. You go all this kindness and love and whatnot, man. Look, man, they ain't even like that. They ain't even worth that. Let me show you what it is. What's up, DJ Moss? So now, he thinks God's soft because you want to be all nice and love these people. These people ain't nobody. Okay, go do it yourself. See how it works. That's the problem. One of my favorite references of benevolence versus is benevolent, or you benevolent or beta, is the Lion King. It's Scott. Mufasa was benevolent, but he still was considered alpha. You know, Scar was a fuck up, but he wanted power. And then you see how, and then Simba was what was the foretelling of benevolence coming back into fruition. Because when you looked at the kingdoms, guess what happened? Under Mufasa, everything was cool. Under Scar, everything was horrible. Under Simba, everything was cool because he understood benevolence. And people look at people who are benevolent as beta. The reason I'm talking about this with the situation that's going on, here you go, Mr. Grand Juror. I'm kind of talking about that too. With Aisha and Steph, people say, Steph's soft. It's funny how these guys are looked at as alpha males when they doing alpha stuff, right? And then when one situation comes about, they say, oh, they soft. He been beta this whole time. He was born beta. His dad is beta. His granddad is beta because because of this situation. Without thinking about something. When you reach a certain level of power, success, fame from the outside, you really ain't got to say much. You really ain't got to do much. Your life shows that you are alpha. You got an alpha life. You're not just an alpha male, you got an alpha life. Your life speaks for you. So the people around you are benefiting on your life. And that's the problem. They benefiting on your life. So of course, a person in that situation, is he sticking up for his wife? I'm sure he is. But guess what? If you look at that man's life, his life is alpha as hell. So you might say, oh man, he baited her because he should have checked her. Checked her. One of the coldest comments I ever heard was something that LL Cool J said on a talk show. They was like, your wife, does your wife family complain about you being a sex symbol, and does your wife complain about you being a sex symbol? And he was like, he just chuckled. He said, man, my wife lives in an 11,000 square foot house in L.A. What is that? What are we complaining about? Exactly. That's benevolence. Sometimes people don't realize how difficult it is to create an alpha lifestyle. People want to rest sometimes. And this is where stupidity comes into play when people taking kindness for weakness. If you are with somebody who's benevolent, 9 times out of 10, they've competed in the world. They've won in the world. They've slain the dragon. You know what I'm saying? They've led the men and the women to victory. You're looking at them as weak because you're like, I smell fear off of you. Yeah, of course you smell fear off of them. You see them as soft. That's because you ain't even in the position to compete with them. That's the problem. You're not even in a position to compete with them. You know, no, I feel you, Alvin, but you know, here's the thing about nobody's. Let me tell you something, and this is real talk. A real alpha man with a real alpha lifestyle is gonna chuckle at the idea of being, well, I could be alpha socially, I could be alpha culturally, I could be alpha success wise, but sexually I'm a beta. Okay, so you want to be with a dude who's an alpha sexually? Go ahead, do that, do that. Now when your life sucks, man, I gave you this alpha schlong, I gave you this alpha sausage. Why the lights off? I was riding in the Bentley. Now I'm riding in a 92 Oldsmobile. But he's alpha sexually. No, it's just bull. Now, but what I'm really talking about is benevolence. This is what I mean. And I talked about this with O'Shea yesterday. A lot of these guys, you can't eat a Bentley, but if you got a Bentley, you eating. You ain't missing no meals if you can afford a Bentley. You living. Like sometimes we got to take into consideration. What up, Mike? Sam? My bad, John. American Indian. Alvin, I got you. Melanated Coda, my bad. True Madre, I got you. You can't, a lot of people shit on people who are benevolent. You know, and it's, oh man, he's soft, she's soft. And when I say, you're taking kindness for weakness, talk about the little girl though. Man, I know about the little girl, John Walker. Something don't smell right about that situation. You was with your dad and your little brother, and they took the girl, but you ain't fight for the girl, but you kept the. I don't know. Something don't sound right. Um, but back to the subject. Has anybody ever considered that when you take someone's kindness for weakness in general, you come at them from a punk from a sucker position. And this is why I'm talking about this, because when people think somebody's benevolent and they soft at the same time, okay, I see, John. Uh, when they talk about somebody coming from that position, it's a sucker position, because think about this: when somebody say, "Oh, I think they soft," I think I could take them. They don't never walk up to those people face to face and give them the business. It's always, let me learn some information about them. Let me try to drag their name in the mud. Let me find an opportunity to find some weakness from afar. Because you know what I'm saying, I see weakness in them. If you see weakness in somebody, go up and take it. But see, a lot of people, when you're dealing with people who are benevolent, you know good and well, just because they benevolent, they are just, they probably are worse to deal with than somebody who has ill intent, because a benevolent person didn't get there, and it didn't just come into power because somebody just gave it to them. They earned it. They worked for it. They did it the hard way. So you can't beat a person like that because you can't do it the hard way. So when you say these people are beta, not really. You know, exactly. You know, there's no beta alpha who hits on all sides socially, culturally. Well, you know, to a degree, but benevolent people in general are diplomatic. Yeah, and I will say this: like sometimes being diplomatic can be a horrible thing. You know, if you're overly diplomatic, that means you are acquiescing to people when you don't have to. And the problem about acquiescing to people when you don't have to is they might not be competent. You're acquiescing, and that's why sometimes benevolent people are looked at as soft, because they're trying to they're trying to put you in a position of power and groom you for a position of power, but they gotta let you make mistakes. They you're not ready yet, but they gotta put you in those situations to make mistakes. You know, everybody, fellas, we know this. You know, they draft a quarterback, you gotta throw him out there. Of course he ain't a seasoned vet. Of course he don't know the whole playbook. Of course he's not polished when it comes to this level of competition. But you got to throw him out there. He gonna have to make mistakes and learn from 'em. But people look at that as a beta quality, but it's really not. Like, power is cyclical. Power is inherited. You know, and that's the thing. When you got to groom somebody for a power position, and we live in a country, where I said now, like we say, people out here talking like they warmongers, but they're not even warriors. People talking like they kings, but you ain't never been a prince. You know what I'm saying? You talking like a queen, but you never been a princess. You know, you talking like you a leader, but you've never been a pupil. So our approach to power is perverted because it's a halfway approach. We running off here half cocked. Yeah, you know what? Because I could talk like, and guys know what I'm talking about when I say this. Like, I'm not a guy with big stature and I don't have a big voice. Uh, and I've been in situations where people have sized me up. Oh man, his voice is so light. I'm like, okay, so you think you're gonna kick my ass because you think my voice is light? You got a deep voice, so you actually think you're not gonna get this work. That's the stupidity of being benevolent, right? And what I mean by that is when you learn something, you learn certain people walk away from confrontation, not because they ain't about confrontation, but they know you ain't built for confrontation. You know, that's the issue. Some people are benevolent because it's like, look, man, I know you want my spot, but truth be told, you ain't built for my spot. You ain't gonna never get my spot. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's got something to do with you. You can't handle it. One of my I talked about this even with my coworkers back in the day. People watch The Wire. I thought Marlo was like, I look at Marlo as the epitome of beta. His character, and Cheese, Method Man's character, beta, because they couldn't handle the crown. They just wanted it. I just want to be the man. I just want to be the man in these streets. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be exactly no code saying they want to be the man at all costs. But they wasn't the man. But what? 2, 3 episodes. So obviously, you know why you wasn't the man? Because you was beta as hell. Because you thought it was alpha to be a snake, to be a backstabber, to be disrespectful. Great Black Shark was popping. We think that's alpha. Oh man, let me tell you something. If I can catch you slipping, I'm alpha. No, you're not. You just a sucker who's an opportunist. And even one of my favorite movies, Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick, when they made the little premonition that Riddick, Vin Diesel's character, was going to be the leader of that fleet. But the white dude who had the black girlfriend, she was like, kill the beast when he's wounded. If you can't kill a beast when he's at 100%, you ain't gonna never be considered a beast. This is why I'm talking about benevolence or beta, because a lot of times when you take kindness for weakness, you wanna get somebody when you feel that they're at their weakest, but you wanna beat yourself on the chest for that. Nah, you beta as hell, but you calling another person beta because they're like, look, I want to see you win and I want to see you be at your best, because it's enough to go around for everybody. But a lot of people don't get that ideology because you know let me put it this way: Superman is benevolent, but Lex Luthor looks at Superman as beta, because if Lex Luthor was Superman, he would do all kinds of stuff that Superman's like, why would I do that? Why? Because Lex Luthor's like, but you would have all this power. And if anybody has remember those cartoons and comic books, there was a time where Lex Luthor actually had Superman's powers, and he blew it because he was so concerned about having, having people under his thumb and under his fist, and wanting to rule over the world in this tyrannical way because he has this power, that he was incompetent. you know and the reason I'm talking about this is because we look at people who are benevolent in a different way. You don't consider people who are benevolent as, because they don't go around stunting in your face. They don't. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. You know what I did to be the man? I'm the man. I'm in this position. I'm in this position. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm the man. It's a whole different ball game. So at one point, what you got? At one point, you had these situations where people are like, look, man, I'm going to be in power at all costs. Back in the day when I was out, back when I was younger, there's people in the streets who always wanted to be the man, but they just wanted the title. They didn't want the responsibility. And they was wondering, why this dude doing it this way? Why that dude doing it that way? I wouldn't do that way. I run a tight ship. You can't run a tight ship if you insecure. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. How powerful can you be if you're being immature about your power? You know, Roastmaster, this ain't lemonade. Actually, this is Ciroc and Sprite. God's word, what's popping? So that's the thing. Like if somebody is nice and you say, "Oh, they soft," are you sure? Are you sure? And most people are like, "No, I'm not sure." I remember this particular scenario. This dude I knew, he wanted to catch somebody slipping. I ain't scared of this person. You know what I'm saying? Because he's slipping on the streets. He's soft. He ran up on him in a gun jam. You see what I'm saying? So he ran up on him in a gun jam. And now all of a sudden, guess what happens? Now he knows it's you. He knows it's you. Now it's like, my bad, bro. I meant to come catch you when you was lacking out in these streets and kill you, but guess what happened? Since you know it's me now, let's just just call it a day. You feel me? It's a problem. Very, very big problem. Can't be but you can't be looked at as benevolent and beta at the same time. A lot of our allegories in history and religion and the folklore of all these movies, they touch on this over and over and over again. And that's the problem. Truth teller, what's popping? And that's the problem. Exactly. Like, even I tell y'all another one. Uh, uh, Sons of Anarchy, Benevolent, or Beta. Jack thought being a little sucker was powerful. Him and Clay was always doing sucker shit. That's gonna be powerful. I made a power move. No, it wasn't. He was a sucker. The most powerful guy on that show, the two most powerful guys on that show, wind up to me being Opie and the dude that Harold Pernew's character, that had the black gang, because they didn't run their ship like that. Opie did his stuff on a moral compass. Jax was a fuck up. Harold Pernew did his things like this. Well, we got these relationships. Everybody gonna be cool. Everybody gonna eat. Same story. Matter of fact, if anybody that knows Paid in Full, Ace was benevolent. Rico thought that was soft because he wanted to be seen. Mekhi Phifer, he just wanted to stunt. But the moral of the story was what? Everybody eats. But everybody had a problem with eating. What's up, Devin? Mike, I'm not talking about her being benevolent. That's not what I'm talking about, Mike, at all. I'm talking about but I feel you. I'm gonna explain it. What I'm saying is, some people are benevolent people and they're viewed as beta personalities. You know, don't don't assume because somebody isn't responding in a way that you would respond in a certain situation that they're soft. You know, some people have so much going on that they walk away from certain situations, or they'll let you have certain situations because of the fact that, you know, what's important to you is not really important to them. Friend, Naima. you know. So what winds up happening is you in those situations. People walk away and you like, well, why did they walk away from me? Think about it. If you go out and you see somebody who's very well mannered and you look at them like they don't belong here because this is not a well mannered environment, then you start thinking, well, they got to be soft because they don't fit the profile of what should be here. So let me pick at them. Let me test them. Well, you know, oh, my bad, Mike. Then my bad. I was just expounding, so my bad, bro. Uh, but that becomes a problem, though. You go fishing for a situation that is not good. An old coach used to tell me, don't let your alligator mouth write a check your canary ass can't cash. And that's what happens all the time. It ain't no problem, Isha. It ain't no problem. Uh, Matter of fact, like, okay, I'm trying to think of that like the Equalizer, the movie with Denzel. He's a guy who's benevolent, but people don't know his reputation because he's supposed to be dead, right? So people view him as, he ain't nobody. And then when he turned that switch on, it's like, wait. What? One of my favorite actually fighters is Andre Ward. He has a benevolent personality. You know, he's SOG, son of God. But he's mean in the ring. Very, very mean. And the way he talks to people is like, look, man, we gonna fight. No problem. I mean, you ain't gotta tell me nothing. You know, that's what we here for. And he'll walk away, but he'll come back and it's gonna be a problem. But people don't see that. No, no. Yeah, tripping. He actually he is a lefty, but he fights orthodox. He fights. He's like Oscar De La Hoya. He's a lefty who fights orthodox. You know, fights on his power hand. But when you view a person, you view them as, I could run over this person. Like having a conversation with somebody. You ever been around a person who think they trying to run you in their mind? They're like, and you looking at them like, what the hell you doing? Because they thought you were soft. You know, exactly. They thought you were soft. So when they thought you were soft, because that's the same thing that goes on with Andre. People look at him and you're not soft. You're not Floyd Mayweather esque. You're not boisterous. Floyd was not. Floyd isn't boisterous to be boisterous. He does that because it sells tickets. Just like Muhammad Ali, just like Jack Johnson. It's the same things. Yeah, I feel you, Mark. I mean, Mike, because when you in this competition, that's the part about people that not understanding something. And I'm gonna get into it this way. People have a jealous heart, and they're jealous of benevolent people because benevolent. If you have a benevolent personality, that means you're powerful, and people will wind up in competition with you because they look at you being benevolent as beta, and not having looking at the qualities of a beta. You know, no, no, benevolent isn't flying below the radar. Benevolent is like is somebody who's like kind-hearted, like compassionate. It's like a person who's giving. You know, they would consider like Jesus was poor, but he was benevolent. You know what I'm saying? A philanthropist, is a benevolent person. Is a benevolent person, but people look at people like that as some people view them as weak. You know, and that becomes a problem. Yeah, a kind, well-meaning person. We look at kind, well-meaning people as beta, as soft, because we respect somebody who's gonna put on a pimp hand, and that's the problem. If you are a person who respects the pimp hand, that means in your pretty much soul actions and activities and intent and heart, you a hoe. You know, damn, that's dope, Roast Master. You know, intent, you gonna wind up being a hoe. A black, how's a black father a beta? Cause for being well-meaning, or putting down your pimp hand. Which part you talking about? Because when people think, when you deal with a situation where a person has to, and I'm gonna reiterate this because I said it a little bit earlier. When you look at a person that's soft, you should be able to approach them like you think they soft. You know what I'm saying? Truth is, I know it was popping, fam. Love. But when people and so people view beta as soft, and people view betas as soft because you could be very disrespectful to a beta, and you don't think they're gonna do anything because they're beta. But people don't approach people who are they feel the same way about benevolent people that they feel about beta people, but they don't approach them the same way. Any like another reference, Gladiator. Maximus was benevolent. The Joaquin Phoenix character, he didn't want no problems with Maximus. So he had to always come at him sideways from an angle, from a position of, let me get the upper hand, because the crowd looked at his benevolence as this is a true leader. He looked at his benevolence like I can't let this dude get into power because if I do this fair and square, he gonna kill me. Right, right, Sam. Like you don't. People don't realize when you come in, and if you're a powerful person and you sow seeds to make other people powerful, you create a society of powerful people. But when you are a powerful person and you sow seeds of negativity, you're just waiting to be overthrown. No, no, I mean, I don't look at Donald Trump as an alpha or a beta. I look at him for he's a he's a he's a privileged kid who wound up being a successful man off of his dad's privilege. I like and that's what happens. There is no real difference between Donald Trump and George Bush when it comes to upbringing. He didn't take, he became president, so in essence, he took his family's his upbringing to another notch. But at the same time, business wise, he inherited a construction company and just wound up putting his names on buildings. He would have made way more money if he would have stayed in the construction business and built on that. Because it wouldn't have just been Trump Towers, it'd have been Trump Industries building skyscrapers and whatnot. Mike, he didn't turn $1 million into $1 billion. Where did he get the $1 million from? His daddy. He got $1 billion for bankrupting other people and keeping the profits back in the 80s. He got money from his dad. He hustled other people out of their money and hustled the rules. He was good at that. That's why he stands on it to this day. Like, look, yeah, I did it. You should have changed. You should have kept the rule. You should have changed the rules. I benefited off of it. You know, it's 10 million from his dad. You see that, and y'all don't. And that was the '80s. What is that the equivalent to now? That's the same way. Jeff Bezos, what he got 300,000 from his dad to start Amazon. This is what But think about it. Those fathers are benevolent men. Yeah, son. I don't even know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna give you 300,000 to start this company. Yeah, son. I'm gonna give you this business benevolence. Using that as another token. Ted Turner's dad. Ted Turner's dad. I have When I saw Ted Turner's story, I have ultimate respect for his dad. 50 would be the equivalent today. I think people don't people see. I think 50 Cent's one of those people that people can't see as a benevolent guy because he'll take your damn head off. But if 50 Cent wanted to destroy his baby mama, he would easily do that. If he wanted to destroy his son, he could easily do that. Like they've been talking shit about him while he's been paying their car notes, mortgages, and putting money in their bank accounts. That is the epitome of being benevolent. You hate my guts while the check clears. I hate you. You ain't nobody. Yeah, Bill. I mean, is Bill Cosby? Yes. Look at Bill Cosby's history. Yes, Bill Cosby was benevolent. Yeah. I hate to break the news to you. Are you mad? Are people upset about him being in jail for that situation? Yeah. But if Bill Cosby is the one who got black stunt men working, Bill Cosby is also the man who, from everybody's understanding, paid for the sound system for the "I Have a Dream" speech, and he was very involved in the civil rights movement. He's also one of the men that even told Oprah how to make money that she don't give credit to. He's hired plenty of people. He's put plenty of black people through schools at HBCUs. Well, Bree, I don't know what to say about the. Okay, you ain't gotta like people, but Jesus, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, but let me get back to this topic for a second. Do y'all remember like part of the problem with benevolence and beta is the Black Panther movie, which is a synopsis of this whole thing, the whole T'Challa versus Killmonger debate. T'Challa is a benevolent king. He does for his people. His people's eating. Killmonger saw him as a beta. You soft. Y'all over here eating, living good, and everybody else suffering. You soft. I could take you. You soft. But the problem was, could he beat him man to man? Yeah. But Killmonger was sucked at it. He sucked at being a king. He was a failure at being a king. He wasn't a king but 3 goddamn days, like in that damn movie. That means you are not you ain't built for that. You built for that war. And here's the irony of that people that never talked about, thought about. When a soldier is in that movie, when a soldier is the equivalent to Killmonger. He's the equivalent to he Captain America's buddy, but he's the Killmonger. He's the other. He's just a white Killmonger, the Killmonger before Killmonger. And guess what? He knows I can't be Captain America. I ain't. That's not my style. Fucking Planet of the Apes, Caesar and Cuba. Cuba, no. What's up, Chris? Everybody knew Caesar was the man because Caesar was benevolent enough to I'm not gonna really, you know what? I know these people messed up. These people even raised me, but if we stay away from these people, we gonna live. They gonna die because I could tell they ain't they can't survive. We the better species. Cooper like let's just kill him. Let's just kill him. Let's just kill. Unnecessary beef because he was scarred for what they did to him, which is understandable. Same Scar has the same complex. Killmonger has the same complex. That's the same devil narrative. That's the same thing I'm talking about with Lex Luthor. Certain people view benevolence as being soft. And when we are talking about these topics, we're not taking into consideration that you keep calling people soft that are benevolent and you're not separating the two. You know, and to be in this nation is kind of ridiculous because we would consider Jesus benevolent, but no, it'd be sacrilegious to say, oh, he was soft. He's soft out there with his mama and an old thought and a bunch of dudes who always stabbing him in the back. They got him killed and they just walked off on him. Soft, right? People consider, to a degree, if y'all don't think about it, people, the Martin Luther King narrative is somebody who's benevolent and beta. Oh, we just want all to be passive and, we all gonna be at the mountaintop and free at last, free at last. He wasn't really trying to do nothing. That's not what he got killed for though, is it? The person that they promote out to the world is a pacifist. The person that got killed was not a pacifist. The person that got killed basically was in alignment with Martin, not with me, with Malcolm X and the Black Panther Party. You know, if you think about if anybody who's seen Mike was Thanos benevolent. Thanos was a mean spirited bastard. But if you notice, Thanos was worthy, could hold Mjolnir. You know why? Because he was right in his ideology, and he was right in his convictions. You can't overpopulate and use up all of the resources and not expect death. Death is imminent, whether you like it or not. He was right about that. He's still right about that. I like the movie. It's a great movie, but at the end of the day, think about it. You bring all of those people back, and they gonna be at war with each other and other people any goddamn way. Thanos ain't gotta be there for them to fuck up the world and the universe. They gonna fuck it up anyways. you know that exactly. What winds up happening is we never make distinctions, and I'm not gonna say we never. I shouldn't say we never make distinctions. What winds up happening is we let things overlap. I get the difference between the alpha male and the beta male, but we act like because of a man is a woman's sexual first choice, then he's like a better man. You act like if a man is like, oh man, that man took your woman, so you ain't alpha, you ain't check her. We're not talking about this part of it though. That woman don't even stay with the guy that she chose to be alpha sexually over the man that she left. And a lot of times, what I mean by benevolent, is he benevolence or beta is what winds up happening with a guy who takes another guy's woman per se, or a woman who chooses another guy who she feels is more of a man. She shackles that other man under the shadow of the man that she left. Oh man, I left my man for you and he did these things. What are you gonna do? I mean, you don't do that. Well, motherfucker, why you leave him if he was doing all them good things? And the other guy's looking like, wait a minute, you said I was a better man than him, but now you keep bringing up how good of a man he was. What the hell? What's going on with you? You said he was soft. You didn't need, you didn't. You said he was too consistent. He was boring. You know, now all of a sudden, you need me to be like the very guy that you left. You know, part of that, but like I'm gonna put it this way. This is part of why people don't like the Russell Wilson Sierra situation, because now people are looking at it like she's trying to turn that man in the future, and he's quote unquote being benevolent because he's looking at it like, hey, she ain't gonna never be bigger than me, for one. I'm like Russell Wilson, and she want to turn me into something I'm not. You can play on my hair a little bit, but I ain't gonna never be no thug. So, and if you want to leave, okay, you leave. Cool. Whatever. You know, Steve Urkel was a freaking genius. You know, it wasn't like Steve Urkel wasn't a benevolent person. He was a kid. And, that was in that family. I can't. He was a kid with a good heart who was just socially awkward. You know, and we be right, right. Exactly, Jonathan Morgan. You know, I mean, here's the thing. Esau, like Russell is lame. I get it. Russell Wilson isn't a cool guy, but I can guarantee you something. You wouldn't run up on Russell. He's a 5'11" NFL quarterback who can shrug off a defensive end with one hand and throw a ball 50 yards. You ain't going. You know good and damn well it ain't. He might be lame, but he ain't no easy walker in the park. What makes him lame is he's not, and this is part. You know what? This is part of the nuance of it. What makes him lame is he's not looked at as of what cool is. Like people look at Steph Curry as beta because he is not. He doesn't look like Allen Iverson. If he was doing the very same things he was doing and he looked like Allen Iverson, they'll look at it completely differently. And this is the problem with being a nice guy, even in our community. You know, we consider, oh man, that nigga got tattoos. He look hard. He be mean mugging. Oh yeah, yeah. That's sexy. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The bitches love him because he look like he'll shoot something. Let me tell y'all something. And this is the thing that speaks about a person like Steph Curry. They call him the baby face assassin, but you call him baby beta. So let me get this right. His own people in his industry call him an assassin, but you calling him beta. That's not a good idea. You know, that speaks to they know where his heart is. You know, who was that was always like that? One of my favorite fighters was Miguel Cotto. They call him a silent assassin, but the way he carries himself, you probably think he's a married man who's on the down low. But you ain't gonna try to go fight him, cause he a dirty ass fighter. He gonna punch you in your hip, he gonna knee you in your shin, he gonna elbow you in the face, so he can hit you with that left hook. You gonna go, I think he kind of soft. I think he kind of soft too, but I ain't trying to fight his ass. Not gonna happen around here. I could feel a certain way, but I ain't stupid. Exactly. Exactly, Jude. Don't judge a book by the cover. Because I'm gonna tell you who else would have been. I'm gonna tell you who else fight would be considered benevolent, but they considered beta to a degree. Muhammad Ali. His talking is what made him alpha. They, he was a pretty boy. He walked around telling people how pretty he was. You ain't gonna mess me up. I'm pretty. I'm too pretty. You can't stop me because I'm pretty. You know, no, Sugar Ray Leonard was beta. Who's a beta who will beat the shit out of you. Because Sugar Ray Leonard was waiting on people to be weak. He was waiting to see if you slipped as he got older. Let me see. I ain't gonna mess you. I ain't gonna get you at your peak. Like Sugar Ray Leonard is judged on Hearn, Hagler, and Duran. He took Duran for granted. He got his ass whipped the first time. Came back, made Duran quit. That was cool. He fought Hearns. Uh, People thought he was gonna get his ass kicked because I think he came out of retirement. He beat Hearns. The second time, I don't think he beat Hearns. I think Hearns beat his ass and the ref gave it to him. That's what I think. Hagler. He felt like Hagler was slipping, so he came out of retirement and he wouldn't really fight Hagler in the ring. He didn't want no real smoke with Hagler. He fought a Sugar Ray entertaining fight and stayed away from Hagler because Hagler was gonna beat the shit out of him. And Hagler to this day feel like he got gypped out of that fight because people liked him more. He played a social game, not necessarily a fighting game. I gotta respect him as a fighter because he is one of the greatest fighters of all time. But his tactics were considered beta. And for some of y'all who don't know fighting, this is where Oscar De La Hoya got his Golden Boy tactics from, and this is part of the reason why you got Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd felt like they were they were bullshit artists. And he didn't want to be that. He didn't want to go around promoting one thing and being another. No, they didn't underestimate Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray picked those times because if you remember, Sugar Ray ducked Hearns for like 3 4 years before the rematch because he didn't want no problems. Russell ain't beta. You know, Russell's an NFL quarterback. You know, you can't be you know, you don't have to be in that position. That is too much responsibility. And part of the thing about being alpha and beta is the level of responsibility that you hold. Some people don't realize this about guys. Um, some of these guys that some of you people are considering beta are just tired. You see them when they're relaxing. Like if you know, they say men oppose environments and women nest in environments. So what winds up happening is these guys go out and they cultivate the world and they make it a comfortable place for everybody. They just want to come chill out. And then and when after they start and you catch them when they chilling out and you like, oh, he beta. Well, fuck shit. He just first of all, the street you driving on, his alpha ass paved. Why he got to be alpha all day long? You know, making the environment good for you, and then be alpha in the house when he trying to rest, or be alpha when he just trying to get a meal. You don't have to be alpha everywhere, all times of the day. You know, exactly. You can't. You know, is Steve Harvey beta? I think Steve Harvey's an opportunist. I mean, he like some of the things in his history say that. You know, like the rumor about him trying to undercut Bernie Mac, which caused the rift between all of them in Kings of Comedy. That was some beta shit. You know, yeah. I mean, I think people been looking at him sideways since. You know, the Think Like a Man thing. That was just like, you know, he's always been a hardworking guy. You know, can't nobody say you can't take that away from him. He's always been a hardworking guy who really was a pioneer for his industry. You know, exactly. Like he's a pioneer for his industry. He was doing stand up, radio, and talk shows. I remember when I was a kid in Chicago in the '90s, he was on the radio. He had a radio show while he had the TV show going. I think but does he do some sideways stuff that's suspect? Yeah, he does. He does. You know, I didn't like that first book because I wound up reading it And even though people don't realize this, he bought the book off of somebody else, if I'm not mistaken. But one of the lines was, part of the reason why he wrote that book was so younger women could talk to older men. And that was a sucker move. Oh, the reason why, you need, it's not working out because you need an old man. Oh, really? This is what we doing? Okay. You know, but that's the thing about. But getting back to being benevolent, real quick. Guys don't realize this about, like, women have a hard time understanding benevolence, have a harder time recognizing a benevolent man, distinguishing a benevolent man from a beta man. Because women don't oppose the environment. She just comes in the house and the air conditioner's on. She just uses the phone and it works. It's like a child. Oh man, he's soft because, it's just like the old thing about a car. You don't, you think your car ain't good enough until your car don't work no more. You see, you don't appreciate your car until it don't start no more. I'm not saying all of us. That's the thing. I didn't say all. What I'm saying is y'all just don't. A lot of y'all don't recognize the difference. Cause you know what? I'm gonna give you. Ladies and fellas, y'all might cuss me out for what I'm about to say. It's easy to play you women because you don't recognize benevolence. You look at benevolence as being beta, and I'm gonna tell you why. Using this little situation that happened with old girl and her husband. You women will leave a man because you want attention, and a player knows you want attention. He could, the bills could be paid, you could be living a good lifestyle, you could have a good family, but your yearn for attention is so goddamn much that a dude could pimp you off of your own lack of foresight. Oh, she want attention, I'm gonna give her attention. Baby, you know what I'm saying? You beautiful, baby. Oh man, you the fine one, girl. You the finest thing ever. And you like, yeah, my man don't tell me I'm fine no more. Yeah, he just now pay attention to me. What house you living in? What kind of car you driving? What kind of food you eating? What kind of bed you sleeping in? What kind of clothes are you buying? What kind of clothes are you wearing? What kind of trips are you going on? And then you with this guy, oh, he just made me feel so special because he told me I was beautiful. So now he's sitting there like all I had to give her was attention. That same, going back to Steve Harvey, that same 80-20 rule, you were suckers for that 20% you missing. All I gotta get a bitch is some attention. She living in $1 million house. I'm over here living in a studio apartment, and all I gotta get is bitches some attention. maybe I can give her enough money to get me a better apartment. You know, it's because you're looking at my man weak, my man weak, and the other reason I'm gonna tell y'all suckers for this is because y'all don't realize these guys y'all consider alpha males. And I was talking to my homo about this. A lot of guys y'all women consider alpha males or alpha sexually. And some of these guys who try to be or say they are, so they can be alpha sexually. The guy that you consider an alpha male because of his persona, he looks aggressive. He looks like a protector. He looks like he could beat somebody's ass. You put that same guy in the military and let him come out the military, you're going to be unattracted to him. You're attracted to the illusion of a killer. You're not attracted to a real motherfucking killer. That's what's real talk. And these guys that you ladies think are alpha males, I'm gonna tell you what y'all want. They're out in public, acting like an alpha, knowing that they're guys who are benevolent out here. Like, I ain't gonna beat your ass in front of your woman. I'm gonna let you keep talking. You know what? I don't even want to fuck up your relationship. Because if you keep talking to me, I'm gonna beat the shit out you in front of your woman, and she ain't gonna respect you no more. But you women don't get that. You women are like, oh, he is so aggressive. Look at the man be a man. I'm letting him be a man. And the dude just sitting like that. You a dumb motherfucker. You know. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing, like Curry is in the box with Russ. He can't control his wife. You can't control your wife. See, I'm gonna be real with y'all. You can't control a grown adult. You can't. But the one thing, even these women who say they running these men, or I'm the queen, I'm running shit. If you running shit when you fucking leave with the fuck, leave with the shit you came with. Stop asking for other people's shit. Then if you running so much, this is what I mean by being benevolent. These guys are like, all right, you run shit, really, really, really. Okay, you running shit. You know, I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm empowered. Give me half your money. Cause I ain't got what it takes to do that. Fuck out of here. That's a reality we talking. Let these women say what the fuck they want, just like we let men say what the fuck they want. But the truth is, guess what? Put your money where your mouth is. When it's time, no, you can't control no woman. Nah. You can't. See, here's the problem. Women are indoctrinated now to compete with men. And us as men, we're not taking women seriously. Exactly. If she ain't gonna shut up for 200 million, she ain't gonna shut up because she just out of pocket. That's what it is, fam. She just out of pocket. I want attention. Fucking Derek Fisher gonna be pulling up at her motherfucking house. Sitting, you know what I'm saying? Kodak Black pulling up at the house. Right. Matter of fact, exactly. Matter of fact, let me another person, because I'm gonna tell y'all who is a picture of how we think in America. Motherfucking Scarface movie. People look at Scarface like an alpha male. He was a bitch made nigga. That's what he was. We look at him as an alpha, but he was a bitch made nigga. I got a boss. I'm gonna stab my boss in the back. I'm gonna take his girlfriend because I want to be the man. I go out in public. I get drunk. I act like a little bitch in public because I don't fit in. And then I get mad because I'm a snake. But when people view me as a snake and tell me to put in work, now I got morals. I killed my best friend because he fucking my sister, even though I don't really give a fuck about my sister like that. He's a bitch made nigga. And then mad, you know. You like Scarface because Scarface controlled his woman? No, because Scarface, that wasn't his woman to fucking begin with. He was a hater ass motherfucker who stole his boss's woman because he felt she was a trophy and she still didn't respect his bitch ass. It wasn't because he was alpha, it was because he was bitch made. You know, I just had to say that. I say that, you know, you know, even in that situation. Eh, you, you know what, Issa? I don't pay. I'm in the society and social cues. The thing about that is, the funny part about entertainment is they say art imitates life and life imitates art. A lot of people have these ideologies about themselves personally that they get from viewing a character on television and relating to it. So people see themselves as through the lens of being this type of person, but they never look at the downside of this type of person. People love Jay-Z. I get his business acumen. I get his hustle. Me personally, I think he's one of the best rappers of all time. But I still can't let slide. I actually listen to the music, and he sold crack to his own mama. He shot his own brother. I can't. I, for that to still be, that part still is in the mix too. You know, the he got Ace of Spades and he Rockefeller and all that. I get all that. I respect all that. But if you are that much of an opportunist that you'll sell crack to your own mama and you shoot your own brother for wearing your shit, even though you in the streets doing fuckery, I still gotta give you that look like, okay, you might have grown out of that guy, but that's that's a line you probably can never come back from. And when people see themselves as a hustler like that, I still look at him the same way. Like, oh, so you the type of nigga that sell dope to your own mama? Oh, okay, appreciate it. Sam C. You know, it's a song. The song is on Volume One. In my lifetime, you must love me. The first verse is about him and his mama. The second verse is about his brother. The third verse is about him putting his girlfriend on a plane strapped with drugs on her. You know, I'm not. Yeah, rappers are the worst, but at this, no, I ain't gonna say that rappers are the worst, but they up there. But when you tell, it's people emulating the rap culture. That's the worst. You know, you emulating the culture like it's cool. You know, everybody want to be a gangster till the guns come out. Everybody want to be a drug dealer till you get charged. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a pimp till somebody take your hoe. You know that's crazy. Politicians definitely. Politicians and the clergy. Take that back. The clergy first, because the clergy will tell you to love and respect everybody, and these clergy will fuck your children. They're the worst. No, they're the worst. You know that is what it is. So at the end of the day, we gotta separate what's real and what's fake. You know, what's benevolent, what's beta, what's alpha, and what's an imitation of alpha. Because there's a lot of people out here who are imitating alpha. I used to call people award-winning actors because this is why some of you motherfuckers out here, y'all got tattoos because you ain't alpha, but you want to look what you think alpha is so you can get some sex. You got guys out here who grow these beards out because girls think beards look alpha, so you grew a beard out. You know what I'm saying? You got guys out here who are loud in public and who act overly aggressive or assertive in public because they think it turns on women, which it does, but they don't really want no problems like that. But sexually it looks alpha. You know what I'm saying? And I see it all the time because and men can recognize this and men and women can't recognize this. Like men see when another dude is a bitch, but he's playing the part of what a woman thinks an alpha is. Men, do you see? You ladies don't realize at least 80 to 90% of the time, men let bitch made dudes slide for imitating alphas because they know that's the only way they gonna get a fucking woman. And you mad because he a fuck boy. He a fuck boy. Yeah, he a fuck boy. You attracted to. What do you want to? Because if we tell you he a fuck boy, you gonna call us a lame. I tell people all the time, the most alpha dudes are either people who stay to themselves, people who have a very serious sense of humor, or people who just don't bother people. You know, and people are like, what? Let me tell you something. Somebody who really gets into, who can really fuck you up, does not go around trying to fuck people up. Does not go around trying to argue with people. Does not go around trying to boss people around. They go around chilling, cracking jokes, minding their business, or just just looking around like just observing people. You know, say I'm hey, you know, but women find making a scene. No, but Mike Tyson no. Mike Tyson has never been beta. Mike Tyson has never been beta. Mike Tyson is one of the. I'm gonna tell you something. I think Mike Tyson's record is overrated, boxing wise. But I think his style is one of the best of all times because it's very unique. But I will tell you this about Mike Tyson. What makes Mike Tyson an alpha male is not the Mike Tyson that was in the ring. What makes Mike Tyson an alpha male? He became a world champion. Most people couldn't survive his childhood and teenage years. Think about it. Like, look into Mike Tyson's childhood and teenage years. Most people couldn't make that. Most grown men couldn't handle what he handled as a child. And then to be successful on top of that. Mike Tyson is one of those, right? Like we mistake what killer instinct is in our society. We say somebody you got killer instinct because you want to kill for sport. That's not killer instinct. If you look in the wild, carnivores don't kill for sport. They kill for the hunger. They kill to provide for themselves. They don't go out there and killing to make themselves feel for an ego trip. Yeah, Mike has mental issues, but Mike is a man that'll say he has mental issues. How many people have been in Mike? You name people who's been in Mike Tyson's shoes who doesn't have mental issues. Mike was like 50 years old before he said he was molested. You know, Mike said, he found out at a young age his mother, his dad was like a player that came through, but his mama was playing another dude that he thought was his father. Mike's parents and siblings died when he was a teenager. You know, LeBron, fuck no, LeBron ain't no beta male. I don't like his basketball style, but fuck no. You know, you can't be considered a GOAT and a beta male at the same time. That's like, hey, is Tom Brady a beta male? Is he? Because his wife makes more money than him. She's worth more money than him. Oh, and for people who didn't know that, yeah, she is. Tom's got to be a beta male. You got to check that bitch. No, you can't be a GOAT and a beta at the same time. You name me one GOAT that's beta. That motherfucker. I don't even like LeBron James, but LeBron so motherfucking alpha. KD said, "Fuck, I need to go to fucking hang out with Steph Curry to beat this nigga." Steph Curry and the whole world is like, "Look, if we want to win, we need you two to make sure we beat this nigga." No, now Conor McGregor, I don't consider alpha because of the situation with Khabib. He's a great marketer. He basically is a white Floyd Mayweather as far as marketing is concerned. But anytime you test Conor for real, like that Khabib situation, Khabib punked his ass. Khabib punked. Ain't no alpha male on the world in the world gonna get punked like that. You talked all that shit. you know, Khabib wanted to beat his ass after the fight. Exactly. You see alpha and work ethic. A lot of people think, in our society we look at alpha as there's a difference between a workhorse and a show horse. We think an alpha male is a show horse. He looks pretty. He's no, alpha is a fucking workhorse. You know, ain't no man considered an alpha male because he got nice sneakers and a nice fucking outfit on and he look fly. That's a hoe. That's what that is. You know. Well, I mean, you know, well, it's not that guys grow up with women because when we children, men are children are predominantly grow up with women whether they're married or not, whether they're in a marriage or not. Uh, but the issue is, part a father and men teach you the rites of passage to be a man, but it's on you to become that man when you become of age. And there are a lot of guys who skirt being an actual man because it's easier to look like a guy who's sexy and get pussy. And this is and a lot of guys get over on that. I don't have to be the man that I am. All I really got to do is buy a fly motherfucking car and some nice outfits that are reasonable, and I can fuck the shit out of women. And then I'll be looked at as alpha. My life doesn't have to equate to that nowadays. That's why I be seeing all, when look online and I see some of these dating pro coaches and dating this, that, and the third, even some of these commercials when you see on YouTube, you know, I have a beard. I'm an alpha man. I lift weight. Shut the fuck up. Don't you want these women to like you? Shut the fuck up. Cause if you're a grown man and your thing is for women to like you, you sound just like a fucking woman. I want to be known. I want to be pretty. I want the attention. I want the girls to like me. If they like me, it helps my self esteem. Nigga, what? The fuck are you talking about right now? you know, anybody watch that movie? I think I love my wife. Dopest scene in that was when the dude told Chris Rock's character, you know, uh, you'll always lose money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. Period. Drake is a dirty Mac. Great rapper who happens to be a dirty Mac. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about smoke and mirrors. Everybody's on smoke and mirrors and shit. We in this American society look at if you a snake but you made millions of dollars being a snake, you're an alpha. No, you just a snake that wind up making millions of dollars. You still a fucking snake. You just a rich snake. Period. You know, but we don't. Like I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get out of here. Remember the Boston Celtics got rid of Isaiah Thomas. To me, that was some sucker shit. Danny Ainge was a fuck boy for that, for what he did, the way he did it, and everybody was, oh man, he made these moves. We got Kyrie, we got Gordon Hayward. You see how that shit didn't work out? You see that? You see how that shit didn't work out? Paid Kyrie all this money, fucking shit imploded. Got all these draft picks, the fucking shit imploded. Now whose fault is that? They blame Kyrie, it's fucking Danny Ainge's fault because he was on some fuck shit. But he's a powerful man in a powerful position, and now what? Now what? Now what? Now all your power moves made you look like a jackass because you was doing the wrong thing. Is Drake a simp? Hell, everybody knew Drake was a simp. Everybody knew Drake was a dirty Mac. I mean, yeah, but here's the problem. Even Dion, check this out. Here's the funny thing about it. Drake is the epitome of half of these motherfucking rappers right out here. All these rappers been rapping about if they could fuck your chick. Drake just happened to be fucking your chick and putting out that he's simping at the same time. See, all these other motherfuckers not saying that. I got a Ferrari. I could fuck your bitch. Okay, okay. So you're Drake, but you just say you'll shoot somebody. Now I don't believe Drake if he says he shoots somebody, but he's doing the same shit. Lil Wayne talks about fucking people chick all the time, and all that other fuck shit for a very long time. We just look at him different because he got 37 gold fucking platinum teeth, dreads, and tattoos. He don't. He shot his own goddamn self. you know, that's who he got shot by. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Right. Exactly. Like I love Bruce Lee. Like Bruce Lee, Ali. Fuck. It's a lot. Like a lot of us don't look at guys who were in history, who were great men. Medgar Evers is a guy who's lost in history. Um, Goddamn, the brother who inspired Star Wars, is it Joseph Campbell or something like that, Jonathan Campbell, something like that. We don't look at that. We don't look at people's greatness in its entirety. You know, like Stephen Hawkins is alpha to me because he doesn't have the use of his body, but his mind is so powerful that he made himself great in spite of not being able to use his body. That's some alpha shit to me. You know what I'm saying? But we don't look at it like that. You know, he's he may be dead, but that motherfucker is a G to me. He's a G. That motherfucker's was in a wheelchair, ran by his chin. He could, and I'ma still be successful. Fuck that. I'm gonna commit myself to something. I'm gonna be great at it. That's some G shit. That is some G shit. People could people looked at Tookie as an alpha for the street shit. I looked at Tookie as an alpha for the shit he did in jail when he was trying to stop the fuckery. That was some alpha shit. I'm in prison, and I'm gonna tell you I'm in prison because I'm a gang leader. But I want you kids to understand that this ain't the shit. This ain't the way to go. I mean, to me, that's some alpha shit. You know, a lot of people don't change their circumstances. You know, Brian Banks got this movie coming out. That's some alpha shit. Real talk, alpha shit. Turn a negative into a positive. And for you ladies, this is what I mean by benevolence or beta to a degree. For you fellas, benevolence or beta. Benevolent men can turn negatives into positives, and it looks easy. This is why I reference the 48 laws of power. You can't outshine the master just because the master makes it look easy. He made it look easy, but the shit ain't easy. To have a great, peaceful, productive life is very fucking hard. It is very hard. Very hard. Like, it's one of the hardest things to do. And to be benevolent and to have a good standing with society and human beings, that is the hardest fucking thing to do. It's easier to be to fuck over people and be successful. The problem is, you are not gonna. You might be. You might die under that success. See, a lot of people don't think about this. If you're on some bullshit, but you become successful, you're only going to be surrounded by people like yourself who are on bullshit. You can't trust the people who are around you because they have the same moral compass as you. Now you want to be around the benevolent people that you cross. Like, no, you notice how motherfuckers that do dirt and they be like, but when I get it together, I'm gonna come back. I know I lied to you, but when I come up, I'm gonna come back. I know I stole from you, but when I come up, I'm gonna come back. I know I cheated you, but when I come up, I'm gonna come back. No, the fuck you not. I don't want you to come back around me. I don't give a fuck what you came up on. Stay your fuck ass around me. And you're gonna be around all the people you came up with, because there's no honor amongst thieves. Now you gotta be with the very thieves that you have been. Your actions, your intent to the world lets people know what community you're in. There are benevolent successes, and there are successful fuck ups. Those things exist. You know, they are successful kings, and they are successful tyrants. Just because you're in the same type of position don't mean you're the same type of person. You know, and that's the thing. Like, one of the best quotes I ever heard was, "It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener who doesn't know how to be a warrior." I don't have to go looking for drama. I would rather plant these motherfucking trees. Matter of fact, let me see if I'm gonna turn this motherfucking camera real quick. That's a goddamn plum tree. That's a goddamn orange tree. Okay? I would rather do that shit because it bears fruit and I can eat off that fruit than go around fucking with people. But that's just me, because when I'm long gone, people will still eat off that shit. I took care of it. I'm gonna take care of it. You feel me? But I ain't know I was on this motherfucker this long. I'm gonna get out of here. Goddamn, long-winded ass nigga, talking about my goddamn self. Uh, One love to all y'all, man. Y'all take care. Peace.